Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Sutarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwaram. Okay, so we will just do a little bit of revision for 5 minutes of what we have read till now. The first thing we read in the first session, that how stress is, anyone? Stress is
in ourselves.
Important. Very good. Stress is important. And we can manage stress or utilize stress and not get
utilized by stress.
Very good. All of you are learning very nicely. And how we can manage stress?
Keeping our expectations more towards the reality.
Oh, very good. By coming to reality. And that's how we saw that Bhagavad Gita is a book of reality. Realism. So we saw this. So that this was the major theme of discussion of the first class, that coming to reality and not hovering around on an unrealistic platform by making unrealistic comparison, making unrealistic expectations. So Bhagavad Gita is a book of realism, or not optimism or pessimism. That's the major theme we saw. So in the second session, we discussed about, see, when we talk about reality, everyone perceives reality in his own way, correct? Correct. Even though reality is a reality, we make a reality out of our reality, correct? How many of you are able to understand what I am saying? We make a reality out of a reality, right? The reality may be different, but we have a reality and we create a reality out of ourselves, right? So everyone perceives reality in his or her ways. And that's how in the second session we saw that how perceptions are also important. In first session we saw reality is important. How our perceptions to reality is also important. Because until and unless we don't have the right perceptions to reality, we will not be able to see reality. So the second session we discussed about perceptions to reality. In that we discussed about perceptions of 3 personalities. Okay, who were the 3?
Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra and Arjuna.
Yeah, very good. So Duryodhan. So first is Dhritarashtra. And the next one is definitely Duryodhana. And the other one is Arjuna. Okay. Arjuna. So in case of Dhritarashtra, we saw how Dhritarashtra had what he had, how he was perceiving the reality.
Only his sons were to be happy.
Very good. He was perceiving a wrong perception about prosperity.
Individual prosperity.
So individual prosperity is fine, but along with that, collective adversity.
Adversity.
Okay. So individual prosperity
And collective.
and collective adversity. So his concept was, if I want to be individually happy, I have to make collectively people miserable. Right? So actually, if Dhritarashtra would have just said yes, this war will not happen, this war would not have happened. But it was Dhritarashtra only who made the war happen, and so many people got killed. So individual prosperity plus collective adversity. So we should see that yes, I have to be happy, I need to be happy, but along with that we should also see that others' happiness are not at stake when I am happy. So this is one thing about Dhritarashtra. And then Duryodhana, he had a problem of power. So what he was thinking, how power comes? How power comes? What is the source of power according to him?
Bhishma Pitamaha was there on his side, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Bhisma was there on his side, that's it. But what's the source of the power? So his own skills, his own strength, that is the source of power. But actually, even if we have own skills and strength, plus we have the best people around like Bhisma, who are having lot of strength, still power lies in the hand of God and Dharma. So that was Duryodhana's problem. That's why Bhisma was put in the situation, and even Bhisma was there, still Kauravas lost the war. Okay? And then third one was definitely Arjuna. So here in this section, we discussed about the first verse of Bhagavad Gita and the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. Right? The first verse of Bhagavad Gita speaks about a question. The last verse of Bhagavad Gita speaks about the answer. So what's the question? What is the question? The first verse of Bhagavad Gita?
धृतराष्ट्रवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किम कुर्वत संजय.
Perfect. Good. Nice. Yes. So what was the question then? What it means?
Where does happiness lie?
बोलो. कोई भी बोलो.
Dhritarashtra was asking Sanjay that are my kids safe, or like what are they doing? He was more concerned about his children.
Okay, but the first verse asks who will be winning, correct? And the last verse says who will be winning. Who will be winning?
Dharma.
Wherever there is Krishna. Speak out. Alekhya, speak out, you are telling.
Yeah, wherever the Dhanurdhari Arjuna and wherever the Krishna is there, he's the God.
There will be winning.
There will be a victory.
So the first verse is a question, the last verse is the answer, and all the 698 verses of Bhagavad Gita is basically how to take side of Dharma. How to take side of Dharma. And then the third personality who is explained in the first chapter is Arjuna, who has problem of purpose. Okay, so he was thinking that the purpose of the war is
to make him the king, so that he will become the king.
To make him king. And that's why if I have to become king, I don't want to become king. So he didn't want to, but the purpose was war was to establish Dharma. That means in the first chapter, basically, if we see, what is being established is dharma. Our perceptions to reality should be based on principles. That was the conclusion of the last class, that we cannot base our perception on our own set of principles. There are a certain set of principles, that is dharmic principles. Our perceptions, we have to align with that dharmic principles. Like for example, same example which I gave in the first class, that I cannot say I will have my own rule on the traffic road. I will have my own traffic rules. No. There are certain set of rules. I have to align according to those sets of rules. So my perceptions towards traffic rules should be what? That what are the traffic rules? I will follow them. What is being set by the government. So our perceptions should be based on principle. That was the conclusion. So the conclusion of the first chapter was, by coming to reality, we will be utilizing stress and not get utilized by stress. And this conclusion is that reality of the second chapter, reality is also perceived through our own perceptions. So we should perceive the reality based on the right principles. So the right principles is being explained in Bhagavad Gita. Now in the third chapter onwards, we'll be talking about the 5 different realities that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. These are the 5 themes explained in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone asks you what Bhagavad Gita deals about, Bhagavad Gita deals about this 5 subject matter. Okay. So the terminology in the Sanskrit also I will write. Jiva, this is called Jiva or the soul. And Karma, Kala, Iswara, Prakriti. These are the 5 subject matters discussed in Bhagavad Gita. And these are the 5 realities being explained by Krishna to Arjuna to help Arjuna come to reality. Okay. So these are the 5 realities which we should know. And I have named this reality in a different way so that all of you can understand. So the first reality is, this body is not all in all. Sometimes we think, whatever body I am seeing, this is all in all. But this body is not all in all. This life is not all in all. This situation is not all in all. We are not all in all. And this world we are living is not all in all. So these are the 5 realities Bhagavad Gita speaks about. And one by one, in the next 5 classes, we will be seeing these 5 realities. Some reality like karma may take a little more time, and that's why we may have one more classes added up into it. But basically, these are the 5 realities. Okay. Anyone asks you what Bhagavad Gita deals about? So we should say Bhagavad Gita deals about these 5 realities: Jiva, soul; Karma, Kala, time; Iswara, God; Prakriti, nature around us; and also there is another Prakriti or Aprakriti. These are the 5 principles. Okay. Okay. So we will go today. So today's topic is how this body is not all in all, and how by understanding that we are soul can help us come out of stress, can help us become stress free, just by understanding that we are soul, we are not this body. Okay. Okay. So we will go ahead with the discussion. You see that our body has 3 levels of existence. Just like a person who is operating a computer, so there is a user, okay, and there is the hardware, and there is the software. Yes? So exactly in the same way, we also have these three units in our body. So the hardware is our body which we see. Okay? Which is made of earth, water, fire, air and ether. Okay? So we will recite this verse. This verse is from Bhagavad Gita 7.4. Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, 4th number verse. We recite this verse. Okay, any one person. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, one person. Bhumir Apo Analo Vayu.
Apo Nalo Vayu.
Khammano Buddhirevacha.
Kammano Buddhirevacha.
Ahankara iti yamme.
Ahankara iti yamme.
Bhinna prakriti ashtadha.
Bhinna prakriti ashtadha.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So what Krishna is telling you, see, Bhumi, that is earth, Apo, water, Anala, fire, Vayu, air and Kham. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are the gross elements which makes everyone's hardware. Not just any human being, cats, dogs, animals, anyone. Everyone's hardware is made with these 5 gross elements. And then there is the subtle elements which are called mind, A, B, Buddhi and C, Ahankar. The mind, the intelligence and the false ego. Okay. So these are the software. We will discuss on the software elaborately in the next classes when we discuss about karma, when we discuss about mind. There are further sessions will be elaborately discussing on mind. So here we are not going to discuss on the software. We are not going to discuss on the hardware because we will be discussing on the user. Okay. So we will be only discussing on the user. So just like I am using the laptop, okay, like this here Sanatan is sitting. He is like taking care of the admin. He is taking the video recording and also he is doing he's changing the screen. Like you see the screen is getting changed. So how many of you think that the screen is getting changed automatically? If Sanatan change the screen? Okay. So now you see the screen is changed. So how many of you think that the screen is changed automatically? And how many of you believe that there is a person behind the screen who is changing the screen? How many of you are able to see the person in the frame? You are not able to see. But just because some change is there, no change can happen automatically. Okay? There has to be an intervention of a person. Correct? Even the most automatic things also, they also have some person who has programmed it automatically. Correct? So exactly in the same way, just like any machine, any sophisticated machine works in which there is a software, there is a hardware and there is an operator. So in the next 3-4 classes, we'll be discussing on these 3 things. That is the software and the operator. Today we'll be talking about the operator and in the next few classes, we'll be elaborately discussing about mind, intelligence and ego, how they work and how they create a stressful situation for our life. Okay. We will not discuss more about hardware because we are not doctors, Ayurvedic doctors or any allopathy doctors. So hardware we are not going to discuss. We'll discuss only software and the user. So who is the user? That's the first question Krishna is telling. Sometimes we have doubts about who I am the mind, I am the body. But Krishna is telling that we are neither the mind in intelligence, we are neither the body, we are actually the soul. That's what Krishna is telling in this verse. We will read this verse. Okay. Dehino asmin yatha dehe. One person.
Dehino asmin.
Okay. One person, I think. Okay, Shruti is. Yeah.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhiras tatra namuhyati.
Dhiras tatra namuhyati.
Okay, anyone else you want to recite? Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhiras tatra namuhyati.
Dhiras tatra namuhyati.
Very good. All of you are as if you are already expert in reciting Bhagavad Gita slokas. I think you should become teacher. Very good. Nice. So, Dehino asmin. Dehino matlab देह के देहिनो अस्मिन, इस देह के अंदर, इस देह के अंदर, अस्मिन मतलब अंदर. So English, Hindi, Sanskrit words are sometimes matching. अस्मिन मतलब अंदर, in this, inside. देहिनो अस्मिन यथा देहे, जिस तरह देह कौमारम यौवनम जरा. How the deha, how the body is going through these three phases. What is the three phases? We are born, then we become old enough, like a youth, yauvanam, jara, matlab we become old. Now, how many of you are convinced that I don't change even if my body is changing? Like for example, when I was small, I was a kid, I was still the same person. I didn't change. My body has changed. My body has become big, but I don't change. I am still the same person. My body is changing. Let's say, for example, you like from childhood, you are liking rose. So even if you become old, will you start hating rose? You still love rose. That means your body has changed, but your likes and dislikes and your desires have not changed. It's the same, right? We don't change, only the body changes. So Krishna is telling, body changes, but within the change of the body, there is someone who is not changing. And that someone is the soul. Okay? And when the body is changing from jara, from old age to death, then the soul passes from the body, one body, to another body. Okay? So Krishna is telling that the consciousness or the Chetana is not changing. And then what is the symptom of the Chetana? These are the three symptoms of Chetana: feeling, willing, and thinking. You see, no machine can create thinking, willing, and feeling. We cannot create ichha. You cannot create, like for example, sometimes ChatGPT, I ask, ChatGPT, how do you like puchka? Do you like pani puri? If you ask some artificial intelligence or you will ask some robot or something, the robot will say, I don't have any feelings, correct? So from where the feelings are coming? And we see different people have different types of feelings. Now, everyone has the same body, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, 1 mouth, but everyone had different likings. Someone likes momo, someone likes pizza, someone likes pasta. From where different feelings and willing is coming? Okay? So these three symptoms, thinking, feeling, and willing come from the soul, and distinguish a body from living versus dead. I'll give a simple example. This sofa on which I am sitting and giving a class. So this sofa has been with us last 2 years. Okay? Never ever this sofa has expressed its desire, I don't know his or her desire, that array, this Swamiji is there and sitting over me. How nice it would be if Aishwarya would be sitting over me. Or I don't know about Bollywood. Some new heroine who is very, very beautiful will be sitting on me. How fortunate I'd be considering myself if this nice actress is sitting over me. How many of you think my sofa will ever think like this? How many of you think my sofa will think I'm feeling alone and lonely? I should have someone, some girlfriend to roam around. How many of you think? Huh? Vivan is telling me, I think the sofa will think like this. So this is the difference between a living being and a non-living being. The living being has thinking, feeling and willing, and the one who is dead, it doesn't have a thinking, feeling and willing. And these three things, Krishna says, comes from the ability to think, will and feel, comes from soul. So the soul is using the software and the hardware to think, feel and be. Okay. Let's say, for example, you have a feeling, or you are thinking that today I will eat something. So who is desiring to eat? The soul is desiring to eat. And the body is an instrument. The body is of two types. One is the gross body, the physical body which we see, and the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, ego. These two bodies are an instrument for fulfilling these three purposes, these three things of the soul: thinking, feeling and willing. Now, how do we understand that we are actually soul? Right? Someone may say, no, I don't believe that we are soul. So we can make some practical analysis as this is given. Let's say this is my hand. Okay? I don't say I hand. What I say? My hand. This is my nose. This is my eye. This is my ear. This is my body. I don't say I body. I say what? My body. So that means I am different from body. Just like when I say my hand, that means I am different. The hand is different. This is my hand. Similarly, this is my body. So if I say this is my body, that means I am different than my body. Then who am I? So we are not body. We are different from the body. We are soul. Right? We don't say I body. Similarly, someone dies. We don't say if the person is the body is still there. We say someone has passed away. Passed away means what? The soul has passed away from the body. Okay. So that is also mentioned. Many people have also, I will share in the group, I will ask Santanu to share in the group some video links where you can see many people had near-death experience and out-of-body experience. There is one video link I will share in the group, which you can see in your leisure time, where one lady, she was driving, and you know how sometimes there are trucks in backside of the trucks, there are iron rods. You see? So the lady was driving the car behind the truck, and the truck put a sudden brake and the car dashed into the iron rods, and all the rods entered her body, and it was a very bad situation. The lady was recovered, sent to the hospital, and the lady was being operated, and the lady was in coma for 7 days. And after 7 days, the lady was talking with the doctor, and the lady told the doctor all the discussion that happened during the operation theatre. The lady said to the doctor, Doctor, there was a nurse who was making disturbance and discussing about her marriage. And the doctor said, is this the time to discuss about marriage? We have to save this girl. And the lady remembered everything in the operation theatre, what was happening, what discussions were happening, what the doctor was discussing with the nurse, what the nurse was discussing with the doctor, everything the lady. Now the lady was in coma. Who was hearing all these things? So this is called out of body experience, where a person the soul sometimes comes out of the body and experiences, and when the body is not fit and again enters the body. This is called, many of the people have experienced this out of body experiences, which shows that we are different from the body. And then the last proof is a very powerful proof, that is called past life memories. Many people have had past life memories. I will put these 2 videos for all of you to see. This is called the story of T2 Singh. It's a very famous story. In 1983's Discovery Channel had made a cover up this story. So this T2 Singh was a small boy born in a village near Agra. And this T2 Singh started telling ki, I am Suresh Burma, I am Suresh Burma, I am Suresh Burma, I was murdered in previous life, I want to go to my home in Agra. So the parents were bewildered, they're puzzled, what my son is telling. So then the father, after hearing so many times, this small boy, 6-year-old boy, I am from Agra, I am Suresh, I am Suresh. So the father took T2 to Agra. And amazingly, this small boy knows all the city lanes of Agra. Instead of his father taking to Agra, he only took his father to Agra. And he said, Arey, ye jao, idhar jao, udhar jao, ye gaadi pakdo, wo pakdo. And finally, he made his father come to a shop, and in the shop it was written Suresh Radio. Said, ye mera shop hai. This boy said. And then they entered the shop, and then in that shop they saw one lady. And this small boy said, ye meri patni hai. Previous life ka ye meri patni hai. And the father was feeling so bad, and the lady started laughing. This boy is telling he is my husband. And then this boy said, I am Suresh only. And then this lady said, okay, if you are Suresh, then tell me. The lady showed the school photograph of their children. Can you identify our kids? Immediately the small boy identified both the kids. He is our son, first son, this is the second son, identified. He took the lady to the home and so said, why in this home this has happened, that has happened, and all those things he said. And then finally you will see there is a mark here. How many of you are able to see? There's a small mark here. And it was found that the post-mortem report of Suresh said कि there is please mute, please mute. Rita Sharma, please mute. The post-mortem report of Suresh said कि there is a hole here. The bullet was stuck here. Suresh was murdered, shot a bullet here. And T2 Singh had a birthmark in the same place at the same location which post-mortem report of Suresh had said. And then this T2 Singh goes on to tell who murdered him. Then the file opens again. You can see the documentary. I'll send you. The file opens again. And then the person who murdered Suresh, by the proof of T2 Singh, gets caught and then he is put to jail. Okay. Now also T2 Singh is alive. He is a professor in one college. I will send you the link. And he remembers all his past life. Now the point is, the question is, if Suresh was just a body and not soul, then how could Suresh enter the body of T2 Singh? It is not possible until unless we accept that the body is not living, the soul is living within the body. We cannot explain past life memories. So there is also a professor called Professor Ian Stevenson. So this professor is professor of West Virginia University in US. He has done 3,000 worth more PhD doctorate theses on past life memories cases. So he has documented lot of case histories of past life memories where kids remember their past life, and he has proven that actually there is something beyond the body which Bhagavad Gita speaks about as soul. There is a life force which runs the body. If the body doesn't run itself, it's the life force which runs the body. Okay, is this clear to that extent? So these are the 4 proofs that we are soul, we are not this body. First is some practical analysis. We can see that how we say I am not body, my body. My body means I am living within the body. When a person passes away, we say he has passed away. Means who has passed away? The body is still there. So the soul has passed away. Many people have experienced near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and documented their operations in the OT, operation theatre. And then there are also past life memories, which scientifically proves that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. And Krishna also says about the characteristics of the soul. Okay, so we will take 1 or 2 verses from the 2nd chapter about the characteristics of the soul. Okay, we will recite this verse. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin.
Na jayate mriyate va kadachin.
Nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuyaha.
Nayam bhutva bhavitava na bhuyaha.
Ajo nitya sasvatayam purano.
Ajo nitya sasvata yama purano.
Nahanyate hanyamane sarire.
Nahanyate hanyamane sarire.
Okay, so very simple verse. Na jayate. It says that soul is not born. Jayate matlab there is no birth of soul. Na mriyate ba matlab the soul doesn't die. Kadachin matlab never it will happen. Not that in future souls will be start getting birth or they will die. Nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuyaha. Matlab it will never happen in the past. It has never happened in the past. It has never happened. It will never happen in the future. It will never happen in the present. What will not happen? Souls will not die. Souls will not take birth. Soul is eternal. Ajaha, nityaha, matlab it is always eternal. And na hanyate hanyamane sarire means when the body is cut, the soul doesn't die. You can murder the body just like Suresh was murdered, but when Suresh is murdered, the soul didn't die. the soul passed from Suresh's body and got another body, that is entered the T2's body. So the soul doesn't die. The soul is within a body, and when the body dies, the soul takes up another body. Okay, so this is another verse. Nainam chindanti sastrani.
Nainam chindanti shastrani.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Na chainam kledayantyapo.
Na chainam kledayantyapo.
Na sosayati marutaha.
Na shoshayati marataha.
Very good. So nainam chindanti sastrani. Chindanti matlab chin kar dena. Sastrani matlab any weapon. So you cannot cut the soul. You cannot burn the soul. Dahati matlab you cannot burn the soul. Na chainam kledayanti apo. You cannot dissolve the soul in water. No sosayati, you cannot dry the soul. The soul cannot be cut. The soul cannot be burnt. The soul cannot be dissolved in water. The soul cannot be dried up. So Krishna is very clear about what all things you cannot do with the soul. Okay? Okay, this is same verse. And then Krishna says this verse, which is a very nice verse. This you can remember this verse. This verse is a very nice verse. Vasam sijirnani yatha vihaya.
Vasami jinayata vihaya.
Navani grinati naro parani.
Navani grina naro parani.
Tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani. Okay.
Tatha sarani vihaya jirana.
Anyani samyati navani dehi.
Anyani dehi.
Okay, very good. Thoda little difficult, but simple. Basamsi matlab, vasa matlab kapda. Okay. Basamsi jirnani. Anyone knows what is meaning of jirnani?
Yes, sir. Vasamsi jirnani yada vihaya navani gritnati naroparani.
नहीं
tada sharirani.
जीर्णानी का मतलब क्या है? जीर्ण
Means like a
old, very good. Old, जीर्ण हो गया, old. बिहाया मतलब फेंक देना, throw. So Krishna is telling, just like when cloths are old, you throw the cloth, and navani matlab new. Navani grinati matlab you take up new cloth. Exactly in the same way, Krishna is telling soul, the body is like the cloth for the soul. And when the body is not functioning properly, the soul leaves the body and enters another body. Just like the cloth is getting toned up and then you take up another cloth. So the body is like cloth for the soul. Tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani. When the sarira becomes jirna, old, then you throw out this, the soul throws out the sarira and enters another sarira. Okay. Now the question is, okay, I got information that I am the soul. How it is relevant in my life and how it will make me live a stress-free life. Okay. So the first thing that the knowledge of the soul or the reality that I am not body but soul helps us to overcome freedom from unhealthy comparison and depression. Because most of us do so much of unhealthy comparison based on what? Most of us do unhealthy comparison based on body only. All the comparison is based on body only. मैं गोरी हूँ, तुम काली. मैं हिंदू हूँ, तुम मुस्लिम हो, मैं पढ़ा लिखा हूं, तुम अनपढ़ हो. All the comparisons we see in this world is based on black, white, all the race, gender, everything is based on body only. And we are talking about equality of humanity and all those things. Equality only can come only when we understand that we are not this body, we are soul, and everyone is equal on platform of soul. So we have so much of unhealthy comparison. He is that, he is this, I am that, I am great. But if we understand that we are all spirit souls, so first of all, we get freedom from unhealthy comparison and depression. Okay? Because I am also soul, the other person is also a soul, right? We are not some bodies, right? The second thing is that we get rid of unhealthy discrimination. So much of polarization nowadays between man and woman, between black and white, between different countries, between humans and animals. So much of polarization is happening. And because of that polarization, so much of fights are happening. So much of stress is happening because of this unnecessary polarization. But if you just understand that neither we are boy or a girl, we are actually spirit soul. We are within the boy body. We are within a girl body. But we are not boy or a girl. We are actually spirit soul. So it also creates freedom from unhealthy discrimination and racism. And it also creates freedom from fear and uncertainties, because nothing can happen to the soul. The soul doesn't die. So much of fear is there. What will happen? What will happen in future? But we can become fearless only on the platform of soul. Right? Now the question is, why does Krishna tell about soul to Arjuna? Is Krishna telling Arjuna the knowledge about soul so that Arjuna can kill everyone? Anyway, no one will die, correct? Can a murderer tell, अरे anyway, आत्मा तो कभी मरता नहीं है और शरीर तो हर समय मरा हुआ है, तो मैं मार दिया, क्यों मेरे को कुछ कर रहे हो? Can we say like this? Can we kill someone and say that anyway the person is not killed? You see, can the murderer of, my question is, can the murderer of Suresh tell, you see Suresh तो मरा ही नहीं, तो मेरे को फांसी क्यों चाहिए? क्योंकि तो मरता नहीं. The soul never dies. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the soul doesn't die. So does Krishna is encouraging murder and trying to teach Arjuna, okay, you kill Arjuna, anyone, it doesn't matter who is getting killed. So why Krishna is telling the knowledge of soul to Arjuna is what we will see next class. How the knowledge of soul helps us in understanding many other subject matters ahead. And that's why Krishna is telling. He is not trying to encourage murder. But the knowledge of soul helps us to become stress-free by helping us get rid of unhealthy discrimination with others, unhealthy comparison with others, understanding that I am a spirit soul and we are all equal, but based on what actions I have performed in previous life, I have got certain amount of body, and that we will see next class. Okay, so we will end when anyone has any question. Okay, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, we go one by one. Rishita and then Alekhya. Okay, Rishita raise the hand first and then Alekhya. Yes. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask that if the characteristics of the soul are to will, think and decide,
Yes.
then what does the brain do?
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. intelligent question. Yeah. So, the brain is the hardware that supports the soul. Okay, I'll give an example. I will give two examples. There is one doctor called Penfield. You can search in Google, you will get him, or I will send the link also. Penfield's experiment. I have not put here because it will become too technical. Not all are from scientific background. It will become a little bit of screwing up their brains. So, giving an example, just like a dog. So the dog also has a soul, but the brain of the dog is not evolved and the soul is not able to use it the way we are able to use it. That doesn't mean that the soul is different. Only thing is that brain is different. Like for example, okay, so I have this pencil and I have this iPad. Okay, this iPad is there. Now, imagine I give you the iPad but I don't give you the pencil. Will you be able to write?
No, Prabhuji.
You may be able to read from the iPad but you will not be able to write because the instrument is not there. You may be capable to write. You may be knowing how to write English. But until unless you have got the pencil, you may get the iPad, you will not be able to write. So exactly the same way, dog's brain is like that. The soul is inside sitting in the dog. He is capable to speak, but uske paas pencil nahi hai.
Okay.
You are able to understand? So brain is basically the madhyam for communication. Right?
Okay.
It's a madhyam, it's an instrument for communication. Okay? Is this clear? Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Alekhya.
Prabhuji, what is the benefits of chanting and how many rounds we need to chant daily? That I want to know.
So when we will discuss about mind, we will discuss how the mind is just like a software, and you know the software also gets virus. So the chanting is like an antivirus. It installed on the mind, just like we put antivirus in the system software. Similarly, chanting and meditation is like an antivirus installed in your mind to protect the mind from negative emotions. Is this clear? And we can start with half an hour in a day or 15 minutes in a day, a meditation and chanting of Hare Krishna, and slowly grow up to it. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes. Who else has raised hand? Yes, Preeti has raised hand. I think she has some questions have come in chat.
Yeah.
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, my question is how to identify like the current situation which we are in. If we are suffering, then like whether it was my bad karma or else people are dealing injustice to me or else human action है इसकी वजह से I'm facing suffering or happiness. How to actually understand this and take proper action instead of always thinking it's my bad karma or else always blaming others. How to be calm and take proper decision.
Very difficult. This question is so difficult that Krishna says in the 4th chapter, 17th verse, Karmano Gahano Api. It is so complicated that Krishna says to Arjuna, don't get into all this discussion, Arjuna. Very difficult to understand whether someone is doing injustice to us because of my past karma or he is creating a fresh karma. You are understanding? Whether someone bet me. Let's say I bet Laksha. Very difficult for Laksha to tell whether Laksha bet me last life, that's why I bet him. Or I am beating Laksha so that next life Laksha will beat me. It's very difficult to understand this.
Okay.
So then what we should do? We should take some practical action. If Laksha is beating me, take some practical action. Whether it is your karma or not karma, don't worry. Okay? Go to the court, go to the police, do a FIR, do all the practical things. Bhagavad Gita is not to take you out of practicality. Okay. So it's not that after reading Bhagavad Gita, someone is beating us, someone is doing some thievery in our house. हम तो आत्मा है, सब हमारी कर्म है. You don't go and put an FIR and someone is being exploited, a lady is being exploited. Then we tell to the ladies, तुम्हारा कर्म था, तुमने पिछले जीवन में किसी को किया होगा. So this is completely wrong.
Yeah, actually, here a lot Prabhuji, like they say, like it's your karma, that's why you're suffering.
So that's why we need to read Bhagavad Gita from right source. Okay, I will tell you a story if you have time. Next 2 minutes, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
This happened in when I was studying in IIT in 2009. So what happened was one of my junior. I was in 4th year that time. In the 3rd year, electrical department, one junior passed away. How? He was going in rickshaw. He got some headache and he fell down and he got the brain stuck and there was some blood clot happened. And then he was moved to hospital, IIT hospital. And in the IIT hospital, there was no ambulance. So all the students have been complaining last so many years, 1 or 2 years, that there is no ambulance, if something happens, what will happen? So it happened in the morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when he was going for breakfast, when he fell down from the rickshaw, and 4 o'clock ambulance came. And what happened, this fellow, when he was taken out only from Kharagpur to Calcutta, on the way only he passed away. And then there was a big uproar in the institute. And when there was a big uproar in the institute, then some 4 or 5 students who were like hostel presidents, they went to the director and said to the director, look, we have been telling, now it is high time we have to get an ambulance. And the director said from Bhagavad Gita, you know, the soul never dies. And when the director said, soul never dies, the 4 or 5 hall presidents, वो इतना उनका दिमाग खराब हो गया. They called 3,000 students from the campus. Everyone went and the director's bungalow was completely captured from all sides. The director's car was broken. The bungalow was broken. The director was forced, holding his collar, the director was forced to resign. Right? You are speaking Bhagavad Gita verse when person has died, and then the director was absconding from the institute for 7 months. The 7 months we had no director. It was a director-less institute. Now what went wrong? The director told the right verse, na? ये तो सब आत्मा है, सब कर्म है. So we need to understand karma properly. That's why the next session is based on karma. Next 2 sessions we will discuss on karma. And if we don't understand it, we may land up into big problem. We may actually create more problems by understanding soul than by not understanding soul. You're able to understand? I hope you understand.
Yes,
So it's not that karma matlab किसी के ऊपर कर्मा थोप दिया. Someone is exploited, उसके ऊपर कर्मा थोप दिया. तुम्हारा कर्मा था. This is not the right way of doing karma. Okay? Karma is not meant for that. Okay? And those who are telling about karma, you also bring them to next class. We'll explain that.
Okay, then I have a question, Prabhuji. Then why, then why I got married to my husband and came to his family? How it is decided?
Well, some things are decided. Some things are also based on our choice. We also have some choice. So it's a mixture of choice.
Okay.
It's mixture of choice and it's a mixture of karma. So it is like this.
Okay.
I'll give an example. Okay, I'll give an example. This is a very nice example. Fate versus free will. Just like this is a cow. Okay, it doesn't look like a cow. I'm not a good artist. I'm a teacher. Okay. So this cow is tied to this pole. Okay. So now because the cow is tied to the pole, the cow can only roam around in this radius. So what is the fate of the cow? The fate of the cow is that he can only roam around within this area. Let's say this area is 1500 square feet. So the fate of the cow is 1500 square feet. Now what is the free will of the cow? Within that 1500 square feet, he can do anything, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is the free will. In this 1500, the cow can do anything. Now imagine the cow is sitting and not eating any grass. Now who is to blame? Fate or free will? Tell me.
It's not taking free will action, Prabhuji.
So sometimes हम बैठ जाते हैं, काम नहीं करते हैं और बोलते हैं मेरे कर्म में लिखा नहीं था इसलिए नौकरी नहीं मिला मेरे को. It is just like the cow sitting here and not grazing, not eating the grass. The cow can eat all the grass within this 1500 square feet, correct?
Yeah. Yes,
Beyond the 1500 square feet, the cow cannot eat. But for the grass to be eaten within that 1500 square feet, the cow has to graze. ना ऐसे खाली बैठ जाने से घास के अपने आप घुस जाएगा काव के मुख में. तो मतलब हमारे कर्म को हमारे जीवन में साकार करने के लिए in order to fructify our karma also we need to work. We cannot just say मेरे कर्म में लिखा था 1 करोड़ मिलेगा, मैं बस बैठा रहूंगा 1 करोड़ आ जाएगा. ऐसे नहीं. आपको ऐसे गाय के कर्म में क्या लिखा हुआ है? 1500 स्क्वायर फीट का घास वो खा सकता है. He can eat the grass growing in this 1500 square feet. Does he have to work or not work? Tell me.
He has to work.
He has to work. He cannot sit and say all the grass will automatically enter. Similarly, fate versus free will versus endeavor. So even if it is written, even if the astrologer says, Sri Nitai Das, you have 1 crore in your karma. And Sri Nitai Das is not working. So you will not get the 1 crore. It will go away. Okay. And some people say, Sri Nitai Das, please work and give that 1 crore to me. Right. So, but 1 crore will come only when he works. He doesn't work, it will not come. You understanding?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
So you got married. So it's a mixture of fate and free will, both.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, next. Next question.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes. Some questions. Something. Yes. If soul takes another body as soon as the earlier body dies, no. The soul doesn't take immediately the body. We will explain in the next class how the entire process works. Okay? We will discuss about karma. There is a gap. And that gap is called Preta Avastha. That gap is...
one question.
Just 1 minute. Let me answer the question already in the text box and I'll come to you. So that gap is called Preta Avastha. Okay? And we will explain that next week. How and when soul confirms that the body which it takes is not functioning. Now the soul doesn't conform, the body conforms the soul. The soul is always thinking, I don't want to leave the body. Right? The soul is forced to leave the body. The soul doesn't conform, the body conforms the soul. अभी हाथ छोड़ दिया, अभी हाथ उठा दिया हमने और काम नहीं करेंगे. Either kidney malfunctions or brain malfunctions, heart malfunctions, and then the soul is thrown out of the body. Okay, the soul finally understands this body is not going to function. So the soul doesn't come out of the body, the soul is thrown out of the body because the body doesn't function. Okay, do plants have soul? Yes, the plants have soul. Even scientists in 1940s like J.C. Bose and all those, they have also confirmed that plants have soul. Okay, yes, next question.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
What is written in our fate? Can we change with our free will?
It's a difficult question. We will discuss next class. So your fate is, again the same example, the fate is in the same radius. This is the radius. So you are basically asking, can I increase the radius, correct?
Yes.
Can I increase the radius?
Yes.
It is not possible by our endeavor, but God can do it. If God interferes in our life, He can do it. But ourselves in our own way, not. Just like, for example, I have tied the cow with a pole. So I can come and untie the cow and increase the radius of the rope and give a more freedom to the cow. Correct? I can do that. But the cow in itself cannot do. Similarly, as human beings, we cannot do. But if God wants, He can do. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes. So, Janya. Yes, please tell.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Uh,
As you said that the body is different from the soul, so it frees us from all sorts of discrimination and comparisons. So does that mean that all souls are identical?
Yes, all souls are identical. Even the soul in the body of a cow, dog, cat, every soul is same.
Prabhuji, then how can we say that it is a bad soul or a good soul?
We don't say bad soul or good soul. The soul is not bad or good. The mind, that is the software, is bad or good. Okay? So there is virus in the mind. There is no virus in the soul. Okay? So the virus is in the software. And based on the virus in the software, the soul gets a body. That we will see next week. Next week we will see that based on how, what all activities you have done. Let's say, for example, I have done some wrong activity to someone else. So in my mind intelligence, the data is stored. And when it will come for the next body to get, when I will be getting a next body, the data stored in my mind will be analyzed and then I'll get a next body. So the soul is pure, but the soul is using an impure mind, intelligence and ego, because of which he is doing bad actions. You're able to understand now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, anyone else? That's it. Good. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So next week we'll discuss on karma. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.